Let's talk about the 3 lessons I learned while trading through COVID, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the tariffs, and the most recent Israel and Iran conflict. And I just want to show you my year-to-date statement for one of my accounts. I'm up about 18.57%, and I have absolutely no losses this year despite everything that's been happening. So this video will exactly show you how I was able to avoid pretty much all the possible losses and pit holes this year. So let's get going. Lesson number 1 that I learned is you always need to check if your positions are affected by the current situation. Now this might take some time, it might not happen right away, but let's talk about an example from my own account or from my own trading just recently. So Israel attacked Iran at the end of the day on Thursday. So basically this is the candle that we're looking at, and I had a position opened on natural gas. And obviously I did some research beforehand, a few days before, to kind of make sure that natural gas is, it might not react. I wasn't 100% sure, obviously, but this is what happened on that same day. So this is the candle. Not much happened, but lesson number 1 is to go ahead and check and see what's going on. So I went to ChatGPT, to Grok, to every single possible AI, and I went through all of the news to kind of see, okay, what are the implications that can potentially move the price for natural gas. And because I sell strangles, it's really, really important for me. So I know, and here I learned about the Strait of Hormuz, so on and so forth. Looked at a lot of news, and because it's a Friday and we're going into the weekend in this kind of situation, I really had to kind of dig deep and find out everything. And then I've asked many questions, and this is the kind of research you have to do. Look at news over here, just see what's going on, what are the headlines, because even though the price did not react right away, it did eventually react, as you can see in the days coming after the weekend. And therefore I decided to close the position on Sunday when the market opened, still for a pretty nice profit, and right before there were some more escalations. So this is lesson number 1. You have to do your research, especially if the price did not react. It might be a really good opportunity to get out, but if the price already reacted, then that your position might be affected depending on how you trade. I still short strangle, so for me, any kind of sharp movement up or down is not really welcomed. The second lesson just ties up to the first one, actually, is you need to do a deep or an in-depth research if you needed to find out how your positions are correlated to the current situation. And it just goes back to to what we talked about the AI, about looking at the news. This is the biggest thing. The research, information will give you confidence, either to stay in a position or get out of the position. Fundamentals are everything. They're everything in the markets, or specifically in the commodity markets. So here, my biggest concern was over the Strait of Hormuz. Now, Iran, they don't export that much natural gas. But they do have some control over the Strait of Hormuz, where about 21% of global liquid natural gas trade is being done from Qatar, right? So if Iran, in some way or manner, will either close the Strait of Hormuz or try to slow down the exports there somehow, again, one way or another, this will severely impact my position, or the price of natural gas will shoot up, and then it will impact my position. So my next questions were just about the Strait of Hormuz, right? So the next question for me would have been, okay, let's see here, this is not that. It was looking at the history of the Strait of Hormuz and seeing, okay, did they ever close it? How can they actually close it? Looking at different news pieces from the past. And this is how you do an in-depth research about the commodity you're trading to figure out what's going on. And then you have to make your own assumptions. These assumptions lead us to lesson number 3, which is you have to run if you see a potential for a fire, and you don't have to wait for to see the smoke to make a decision. Basically, what I mean by that is you don't really have to wait for something to happen. It's better to be safe than sorry with the market. And I ended up closing this position for 21% profit on the credit. And you can see the reason for the early exit is there's too much uncertainty given the conflict. And NG did react a little too much for my liking, and it's better to be safe than sorry. And I did have this position open on a demo account. Currently, it's down like 30%, right? So from up 21 to down 30%. It's a pretty big swing, and we got out with a profit. And this is how I've been operating this entire year. This is why I'm up this year with 0 losses, basically, with very little volatility, or basically no volatility, because I avoided all the tariffs and any kind of situation that can endanger my account or my positions. And if you want to trade with me, learn with me, just email me with my email address below in the description. We can try and work something out. But this is it for this video for the most part. I think it's really important to follow these 3 lessons, because otherwise you have absolutely no chance in surviving the market, especially in years like this one where there's so many potholes. There's tariffs, then there's wars, then there's tensions with other countries that are already in a war, so on and so forth. So again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this video was somewhat helpful for you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Let me know if you have any questions.